Hello everyone, thank you for watching this video. In this video, we are going to have a mock interview to simulate a real-time use case that can help you prepare for your next technical interview. Let's get started. Can you please introduce yourself, your total experience, and the key skills you have?
Sure. I'm working as a senior cloud engineer with around 12 years of total IT experience. I started my career as a Wintel administrator, where I managed large scale Windows Server environments, Active Directory, DNS, DHCP, group policy, and patch management. Over time, I transitioned into cloud technologies. And for the last 5 years, I've been focusing primarily on Microsoft Azure. I have hands on experience with Azure Infrastructure as a Service, virtual machines, networking, load balancers, Azure Firewall, application gateway, and storage accounts. In addition, I work closely on Azure DevOps, managing CI/CD pipelines, Terraform automation, and infrastructure deployments. Currently, I handle incident management and environment support for production workloads, focusing on troubleshooting, problem isolation, and automation of repetitive operational tasks. I closely follow ITIL processes such as incident, change, and problem management as part of day-to-day operations.
Okay, let us take a real-time scenario. Imagine you've received a P2 incident. Users are unable to access a business-critical web application hosted on Azure virtual machines. Walk me through your approach to troubleshoot and resolve this issue.
Well, the first step is to understand the nature and scope of the issue. I would gather initial details from monitoring alerts or user reports, such as what the users are experiencing. Are they seeing a timeout, page not loading, or a specific error code like 404, 502, or connection refused? I'll also document basic information like application name, time of occurrence, user impact, and whether the problem is internal or external. This helps categorize the problem and prioritize the response correctly.
Okay, thank you. That is a good start. Once you have that information, what are your initial checks?
First, I log into the Azure portal and verify if the application server is up and running. I'll check Azure Monitor metrics for CPU, memory, and network utilization to ensure there are no resource bottlenecks. If the server is healthy, I'll perform a network connectivity test from a bastion or jump host, ping, or test the specific application port, such as port 443. If the connectivity fails internally, that points to network security group, firewall, or routing issue.
Makes sense. What if the server is fine internally, but external users still can't reach the application?
In that case, I'll trace the end-to-end network path, starting from the public IP, Azure Load Balancer, or application gateway in front of the web servers. I'll check whether the front-end IP is healthy. The backend pool shows all members as up and that health probes are responding. If the gateway or load balancer health is degraded, I'll verify probe responses and NSG rules allowing inbound traffic on ports 80 or 443. I'll also confirm whether any recent configuration or deployment changes were made that might have impacted routing or firewall rules.
Let's say you found that a recent NSG rule update blocked inbound traffic on port 443. What's your next step?
I would validate the issue by testing from within the same subnet to confirm the port is indeed blocked. Then, following change management process, I'd raise an emergency change request to modify the network security group rule to allow inbound access. Once approved, I'd make the change, test accessibility, and confirm service restoration. Throughout the process, I'd ensure incident updates are posted on the bridge call, maintaining transparency and compliance.
Good. Suppose instead the issue was related to DNS resolution. How would you handle that?
If DNS is suspected, I check the DNS resolution path using NSLOOKUP or DIG. I would verify if it resolves to the correct public IP and that there's no mismatch due to recent DNS updates. If the application uses custom DNS or private endpoints, I'd review the DNS forwarding rules or VNet links to ensure proper name resolution. If changes were made, I'd validate whether they were approved under change control and rolled out correctly across environments.
Very good. During this process, how do you ensure communication and SLA compliance?
During any P2 incident, I maintain constant communication. I ensure that stakeholders receive hourly updates and all technical findings are logged in the incident record. If there's a risk of SLA breach, I immediately escalate to the service delivery manager or problem manager. Once resolved, I document the root cause, impact, and resolution summary. And if needed, raise a problem ticket to identify preventive actions.
Excellent. Finally, how would you prevent similar incidents from happening in the future?
To prevent recurrence, I'd recommend automating configuration drift detection using Azure Policy or Defender for Cloud. Implement change approval gates in Azure DevOps pipelines to ensure all NSG or infrastructure changes go through validation before production. We can also conduct periodic resilience and failover tests, implement better alerting thresholds, and strengthen monitoring dashboards for proactive issue detection.
Perfect. That's a structured and a technically sound approach showing strong troubleshooting, governance, and communication skills. Thank you for walking through this scenario. Thank you. It was a great discussion, Raj. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you have any specific topic you'd like us to create a mock interview on, please drop it in the comments below.